Hello my dear travelers, welcome to AlexTar Travelog. Happy New Year! My 2021 started in one of the most beautiful cities in Ukraine, Lviv. The city is known as a center of art, literature, music and theater. Nowadays, the indisputable evidence of the city's cultural richness is a big number of theaters, concert halls, creative unions, and also the high number of many artistic activities, more than 100 festivals annually, 60 museums, 10 theaters. The political and commercial role of Lviv attracted to it a number of ethnic groups with different cultural and religious traditions, who established separate yet interdependent communities within the city, evidence for which is still discernible in the modern town's landscape. And finally, I can tell you about the most popular and the most favorite place among Lviv citizens and tourists, especially in holiday season. Svobody Avenue is a walking area with fountains, benches and monuments in the very heart of the city. On Christmas and New Year days, it becomes a fair with kiosks where you can try some hot drinks, local snacks and buy souvenirs. In December 19th, the main New Year tree is lighted up as the biggest and the main tree of the city. Since that day, thousands of people come here for photos and having fun with family and friends. Children like this place so much because here they can meet their favorite holiday characters, Santa, Grandfather Frost or Saint Nicholas. It's a really beautiful place, especially with the background of Lviv National Opera. The Solomia Krushelnitska Lviv State Academic Theatre of Opera and Ballet, originally built on former marshland of the submerged Olha River. According to this inscription in the theatre lobby, the building was constructed between 1897 and 1900 and has remained standing throughout several changes in history. It is built in the classical tradition using forms and details of Renaissance and Baroque architecture, also known as the Viennese Neo-Renaissance style. The stucco moldings and oil paintings on the walls and ceilings of the multi-tiered auditorium and foyer give it a richly festive appearance. The theatre, beautifully decorated inside and outside, became a centerfold of the achievements and sculpture and painting of Western Europe at the end of the 19th century. The internal decoration was prepared by some of the most renowned Polish artists of that time. There are two halls in the theatre. The small one is called Mirror Hall. Mostly small performances with one or two artists are held here. The contemporary professionals that call the Opera House home include a 90-piece symphonic orchestra, more than 40 world-class opera soloists, a choir and ballet troupe. And the Grand Hall is just amazing. I've been to Moscow Bolshoi Theatre, Vienna Opera, St. Petersburg Alexander Theatre, but Lviv Opera was different from others. I liked the decoration and the whole atmosphere, but the frescoes and sculptures of naked women on the ceilings and some walls disappointed me very much. Of course, I understand that's just art, but I wouldn't recommend this place for children. way, I enjoyed the concert. The amazing orchestra and opera soloists performed the most famous parts of Mozart's operas, The Marriage of Figaro, Don Giovanni, and All Women Do It. And again, young street musicians met people in front of the opera. Near the Opera Theatre, you can visit another famous Maria Zankovecka Theatre, a market of handmade souvenirs and gifts, vernissage, and a beautiful church of Transfiguration. It is located just north of the market square. It was originally built as the Roman Catholic Church of the Holy Trinity of the Trinitarian Order between 1703 and 1731, in the style of French classicism but with a Baroque interior. In 1783, the monastery was abolished by the Holy Roman Emperor Joseph II, and the church was used as a library of the Lviv University, until it was destroyed by Austrian artillery during the Spring of Nations in 1848. The ruins of the church were rebuilt by the Greek Catholic Church, and most of the original design was kept. On Svobody Avenue, you will find one very luxurious building with statue on the roof. It's a museum of ethnography and arts crafts. It is one of the largest and oldest museums of the type not only in Ukraine, but also in Central Eastern Europe countries. Its collection began to form at the end of 19th century on the base of two Lviv museums, Industrial City Museum and Antiquities Museum of Scientific Society named after Shevchenko. In 1951, the State Museum of Ethnography and Arts Crafts was founded. Its exposition is housed now in the building of the former Galician Saving Bank. The building is an architectural monument of administrative construction of 19th century. Its stocks today are the treasure house of traditional cultural folk masterpieces of Ukrainian art. It also contains unique samples of world arts and crafts. The found collections number about 90,000 exhibits. The original collections can be divided into two large departments, ethnographical and that of arts crafts. Besides, the Assembly Hall, former meeting hall, is of great interest. It is decorated by the famous sculpture of 19th century, Lewandowski. The visitors can enjoy the attractive putti symbolizing sciences and crafts and the bank's coat of arms with the end in the middle. The museum can be proud of its authentic exclusive interior. On the ground floor, the visitors can be impressed by the decorations on the ceiling, the alabaster columns and banisters of the front staircase, stained glass windows of the beginning of 20th century, done in Innsbruck by Tiroler Glasmalerei. There is an interactive exposition of different music instruments. On the touchscreen, visitors can choose any instrument from the collection, read about its history, and listen to its sound. Entrance fees are 60 hryvnia for an adult ticket, 20 for students. Excursion fees cost 60 hryvnia for an adult group and 40 for students. Lviv is also a very suitable city for shopping lovers. In about 1500 meters from City Hall there is a big mall, Forum. It is very popular among tourists and citizens. There are many popular international and local brand shops, a cinema, supermarket, restaurants and cafes. It is really a nice place for some rest, especially in cold winter evenings. On Listopadovo Chino Street there is a very popular and one of the most photographed buildings in Lviv. It's a house of scientists. It's a former aristocratic casino, architectural monument located in the central part of the city. The authors of the project were known Viennese architects Helmer and Fellner, authors of the Odessa Opera House. The architects were inspired by examples of palace architecture of Central European Baroque. Imposing decoration of facades of the building is combined with exquisite elegance in construction of stairway gallery of lobby. The interiors of the building are often used for filming, including the film D'Artagnan and Three Musketeers. It was a moral institution, although they say that one of the descendants of Mozart performed here, and now Lviv balls are held here, which began in 1482. Every hall impresses visitors with its originality and elegance. The salon on the first floor is a long hall with gliding balcony for the orchestra and a fireplace. On the second floor there are three beautiful halls, a conference hall or theater hall with a stage, which used to be a place of concerts and drama, white hall with a fireplace and a grand piano, gala red hall, beautiful and cozy blue hall with antique furniture and the meeting room for the House of Scientists Council. Entrance fee is 30 hryvnia. Not far from the city center there is another famous St. George Cathedral. It's a Baroque Rococo cathedral. It was constructed between 18th century on a hill overlooking the city. This is the third manifestation of a church to inhabit the site in the 13th century, and its prominence has repeatedly made it a target for invaders and vandals. The cathedral also holds a predominant position in Ukrainian religious and cultural terms. During the 19th and 20th centuries, the cathedral served as the mother church of the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church. The architectural ensemble of St. George Cathedral also includes a belfry, the Baroque Metropolitan Palace and Chapter House, as well as a garden enclosed behind two gates. A church has stood on St. George Hill since around 1280. St. George's Cathedral reflects both Western influences and the traditions of Ukrainian church construction. An expressive statue of St. George, the Dragon Slayer by Pinsel, stands in the church attic. In the cathedral's tombs are buried distinguished figures of the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church. Also, there is a balcony with panoramic view on Lviv city. But it's more visible only in winter since the trees are without leaves. Finally, I want to tell you about my favorite church of Saints Olha and Elizabeth. It's located between the city's main rail station and the old town. The church was originally built as the Roman Catholic Church of St. Elizabeth. The church was built by the Latin Archbishop of Lviv Saint Joseph Bilshevsky in 1911 as a parish church for the city's dynamically developing western suburb. It was designed by Polish architect Talowski in the neo-Gothic style, similar to that of the votive church in Vienna. St. Elizabeth's, placed on a hill which is the watershed of the Baltic and Black Sea, with its facade flanked by two tall towers and an 85-meter belfry on the north side with imposing spires, was envisioned as Lviv's first landmark to greet visitors arriving in the city by train. The imitative neo-Gothic style of the church repeats a lot of the elements of French and North German Gothic architecture with some elements of the Romanesque style. High peaks, steeples, lancet windows, a large portal with a rose in the center, vertical space inside the church. It's only a part of many amazing places in Lviv. I tried to choose those close to city center. Hope you will enjoy your trip to this beautiful Ukrainian city. Next time, I will share with you the most delicious restaurants and cafes I visited there. Remember to subscribe, like and share the videos interesting for you and your friends. Welcome to watch other videos on my channel. Let's discover the world together.